Kevin Steele, we'll jump right into questions.
Coach, I want to ask first 2 games in DC play. Drake May 77 yards rushing, Brett Wells 63 yards rushing. This is Riley this week who's coming off 130 yards rushing.
I can't.
Sorry. Drake May had 77 yards rushing 2 weeks ago. That's my handy. Grant Wells had 63 yards this last week. Riley Lennox coming off a career high game. What goes into stopping these mobile quarterbacks in DC play?
Well, I think the thing is we've got a really good pass rush. We get a lot of sacks, and obviously in these 2 games, I think it was 5 and 6 sacks. So you're going to create scramble situations. A lot of times we're in man coverage, we're in match coverage. And when we're in zone coverage, it's not happening. You got eyes on the quarterback. Those guys do a good job. We've been in some, rush lanes where it gets pressure on him, and we're near sacks, and he gets out of it, scramble. They do a good job of it. It's pick your poison sometime. You wanna pressure, cover, be in man coverage. You wanna match, take away his throws, and then or you wanna be in zone and give some throwing lanes to him, and then he won't scramble. He'll throw it. So hats off to them, good players. But neither one of those stats you gave me. Obviously, it's something we work on, but. That yardage, scramble yardage at Virginia Tech did not result in anything major at all.
And the big cut down on the chunk plays given up. The longest play given up was 27 yards this week. So biggest factors for you in cutting down on that?
Just communication. Know your job, do your job, and communicate it to others. Being on the same page.
Did you guys change? It looked like you might have changed some things in how you were communicating things from the sideline to the field. Did you make any adjustments in that regard?
No.
No?
Not at all.
Coach, what concerns you about Duke's offense, and what areas of focus do you need to focus on this week?
The 206 yards per game rushing against everybody they play pretty much. They're very effective at running the football. They've got good run schemes. And then the quarterback on top of that, to lead back to the question, Duke's quarterback does the same thing. I mean, he's very good with his feet. The one thing about it is, in this day and age, when you get a quarterback that can throw the ball and throw it accurately, like Duke's quarterback, like North Carolina's quarterback, but then they can beat you with their feet. You got to be on point with that. So those things, we've got to make sure that we keep him in the well, make him throw from the well, don't let him scramble and move the chains. And then on top of that, we got to be able to stop the run.
What are your thoughts on third down pass rush? They seem to play really well. The D-line, your speed rush package.
Yes, our rabbits package, when we get the rabbits package on there, is third down and they can pin their ears back. We've been very effective of getting pressure on the quarterback as well as sacks. So everybody celebrates the sacks, and that it is big and you want them, and it creates minus yards. It's huge, it's a big momentum builder, but just as important are the hits on the quarterback, the forced bad throws, the batted balls, those type things. We've been very effective in rushing with 4 people. We've not had to pressure a ton.
Akeem, because he's gotten the sacks. I think he's got a lot of the headlines, but Darryl Jackson also seems like out of the transfers he's been.
Yeah, well, all those guys up there. I mean, we're getting effective rush out of Harvey. We, Chance Williams, Darryl Jackson. We're getting good pocket push in the middle, which allows those guys on the edge to do what they do in speed to power or speed rush, counter moves. Freeze those edge guys up.
Obviously, we talked a lot about the depth you have up there. Obviously, part of that is competition. Are you seeing that manifest? Where it seems like some guys will be in
right.
the game and then.
Well, we're a little bit different too now. Obviously, when we go to our Rapids package, which is not. I mean, people think that's a lot. I mean, I think of the 15 third downs the other day. We were actually stayed in nickel on 4 of them. The third and shorts, we're not in the Rapids package, so they're only about 8 or 9 snaps. So the rest of the 71 snaps, keeping those guys fresh, and they're competing, they're playing well. And you know this, I mean, when you weigh 325 pounds and go out there and you run around at the level that we ask them to play with effort, or fly to the ball, then if you play 71 snaps at 325 pounds, yeah, you're going to be playing with effort, but you may be a little low on gas in the tank. And I think that's evident in the fact that there was 2 plays that probably went totally unnoticed, but Mesidor made one of them, Harrison Hunt made the other. They're in the core line of scrimmage, and the ball was thrown on a now screen to the edge, and they either caused the tackle or made the tackle on the sideline, and so they're staying fresh.
Linebacker play, what's your assessment of how they performed on Saturday?
The best game we've had at linebacker this week. Very productive, very few mental errors at all. Made big plays, affected the game with big plays, doing their job. We had sacks, we had tackles for losses, we had big third down stops by the linebacker core. You know, we had I think a 3rd and 2. They ran an R flat. Linebacker had him man-to-man, tackling for a 1-yard loss. You know, that's it was our most productive game.
Wesley, just every game looks like more snaps for him. Is it just a matter of him getting the playbook down, or are there things that he just tweaks?
Sure. I mean, spring practice obviously was limited for him, and then fall camp. So it's repetition. I mean, he's young, and we said, I think in this room, we actually said that he was on his way, and at some point in time, the light switch would come on. Well, it's you know, the light's on now, and he's confident. He's carried himself different. It's going good for him.
Hey, Coach, I get you want to split the reps at defensive line to get more fresh. Is there a maximum amount of reps you want anyone to get? Is there a percentage of the overall snaps? Like, how do you sort of divvy it up, and when do you want them all, the best ones in the 4th quarter to be fresh, playing all the snaps in the 4th quarter? Like, how in your mind do you set
We
it
want
up?
all of them fresh in the 4th quarter. All of
So
them.
how in your mind do you
It's all situational. We talk about, you know, how we're going to play the players, you know, all week, but we do on Saturday too with coach. And so that rotation, and sometimes it gets a little bit off, to be quite honest with you. Sometimes it gets a little off because this guy's been in and it was 2, 3 and outs, and now the chart says, okay, it's time for the other one to go in. Well, he hadn't played enough plays, let's leave him in. So, and then you get into situational dime rabbits, short yardage, goal line, TV timeouts, okay, that's a longer rest. Is the offense 3 and out, or they have a 12-play drive and you sit on the bench for that long? There's a lot of factors that go into that. Is it an exact science? No. Can we do a better job of monitoring during the game sometimes? That's always been the case. You know, it's hard to keep a pitch count on every player over there.
Well, is there anyone that you wish, in retrospect, you'd given more reps to in a particular game or overall this season? Anyone?
Yeah, we always review that on Sunday, and we'll look at the snap count and say, you know, he didn't get enough snaps. I mean, that happens.
We'll do a few more for Coach Steele.
From a system standpoint, is Duke similar to anyone that you've played already this season? Or what is their system, I guess?
Well, their quarterback is extremely effective. He throws the ball real well. He gets them in the right play. He's very effective. And I know him. I watched him play high school football in the state of Alabama. So I know him, and I know what he is. He's very athletic. He's very, very smart. He's got ice water in his veins. I mean, he is playing at a very, very high level. Very high level.
Anything else?